Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're swinging back in time to 2007 to talk about one of the most divisive, yet fascinating superhero movies ever made, Spider-Man 3. Whether you love it, hate it, or just find it weirdly entertaining, there's no denying this film has a story to tell, both on screen and off. So, let's untangle the web of production and dig up some amazing facts you might not know about Sam Raimi's final Spidey flick. Right from the get-go, Spider-Man 3 was destined to be huge. The first two films were massive successes, and the studio wanted to go even bigger for the third installment. The budget ballooned to an estimated $258 million, making it one of the most expensive films ever made at the time. A huge chunk of that went into the visual effects, which, to be fair, were pretty groundbreaking. Think about the Sandman's creation scene. That sequence alone took the effects team over a year to perfect, using incredibly complex simulations to get the sand to look and move just right. Now, let's talk villains. Originally, director Sam Raimi only wanted to focus on Sandman and the continuation of Harry Osborn's story as the New Goblin. He felt Sandman, or Flint Marko, had a powerful human story that would resonate with audiences. He was a bad guy, sure, but he was doing it all for his sick daughter. It was a classic, tragic Spider-Man villain. However, the studio and producer Avi Arad in particular really pushed for the inclusion of Venom. Venom was a fan-favorite character from the comics, and the studio saw huge merchandising potential. Raimi was famously not a fan of the character. He didn't understand the symbiote's lack of humanity and felt it didn't fit the tone of his films. This creative tug-of-war led to the movie feeling a bit overstuffed. Juggling three villains, Sandman, New Goblin, and Venom, plus Peter's own internal struggle with the symbiote, was a massive undertaking. And speaking of the symbiote, let's talk about Bully Maguire. The scenes of Peter Parker, influenced by the black suit, dancing down the street and sporting that emo haircut have become legendary memes. Actor Topher Grace, who played Eddie Brock, mentioned that those scenes were meant to be cringy. The idea was to show what a nerd like Peter Parker thinks is cool. It wasn't supposed to be genuinely cool. It was supposed to be awkward and funny, showing how the symbiote was twisting his personality into a bizarre caricature of a bad boy. It's a detail that often gets lost in the memes, but it adds another layer to the filmmaking. Another interesting fact involves Gwen Stacy, played by Bryce Dallas Howard. In the comics, Gwen is Peter's first true love, and her story is one of the most tragic in comic book history. Her inclusion in Spider-Man 3 was a bit of a curveball since the movies had focused entirely on Mary Jane Watson. This created a love triangle that further complicated Peter's already messy life. Bryce Dallas Howard actually performed all of her own stunts in that terrifying crane disaster scene, which is pretty impressive. Despite the mixed critical reception, Spider-Man 3 was a box office titan, grossing over $895 million worldwide. It proved that the appetite for Spider-Man was as strong as ever. Plans were even in motion for a Spider-Man 4, with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire set to return. The proposed villains were rumored to be the Vulture, played by John Malkovich, and Black Cat, played by Anne Hathaway. Unfortunately, Raimi couldn't crack a script he was happy with before the studio's deadline, and he eventually walked away, leading to the Amazing Spider-Man reboot a few years later. So, while Spider-Man 3 may be a complicated film with a messy legacy, it is also a fascinating product of its time, a blockbuster caught between a director's vision and studio demands. It gave us incredible special effects, unforgettable memes, and a perfect, if bittersweet, conclusion to some character arcs. What are your thoughts on Spider-Man 3? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite movies. See you next time.